No, no, no. I was having a typical wild night at home last night on the couch reading my Kindle, as I usually do, thinking about the inner workings of the perfectionist brain. What is this bag doing here? Normally, the perfectionist would refilm that clip. Not today, honeys. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Healthy Emmie. I'm a nutritionist, a weight loss specialist, the creator of the Slim program, Slim supplements. If you want a custom meal plan, custom workout plan, access to me, and a community to support you on your way to your goals, click the link in the down bar. I was thinking about the inner workings of this perfectionist brain, and I thought to myself, why don't I do a day in the life of a perfectionist, walk through what goes on in this brain and how I have transformed perfectionism from a burden to an asset and a superpower. When I first thought of the idea, I said, no, I can't do it yet. I need to plan it out. I'm not planning on filming tomorrow. This was last night. And then I realized that was the perfectionist speaking. And if this video helps you at all, then that is absolute proof and evidence that done is better than perfect. Good is better than perfect. Good enough is better than perfect, because perfectionism exists and it will prevent you from ever producing anything. So let this be your proof. If this video that you're watching helps you at all, then we have absolute hardcore evidence that going against perfectionism, that your desire to do things absolutely perfectly, you're fooling yourself and you're preventing yourself from putting things out in the world in a version of yourself that's a really great version of yourself that can truly help people. If I let the perfectionist get to me, you would not be watching this video right now, because this one isn't perfect enough, and that's very silly. I read a book years ago, and I can't say that the book made a huge impact on me, to be completely honest, but what I did learn from that book is that there are 5 types of perfectionists. So the book is called The Perfectionist Guide to Losing Control, and the 5 types of perfectionists are the classic, intense, Parisian, procrastinator, and messy. I am the classic perfectionist. This is like the straight A student, needs to get 100% on the exam, extremely high standards, very rigid, that sort of thing. Basically, the control freaks. Hi, reporting for duty. We're the overachievers. We like structure, we like consistency, like our homework due on Friday is done on Monday sort of thing. I'm about to film an at-home workout and I'm taking off my Apple Watch. I know some of my friends will say if you weren't wearing your watch, didn't even count. Workouts don't count if you're not wearing your watch. We're doing an entire workout without an Apple Watch, because it still counts. I used to think that at-home workouts didn't count. It's so funny because first off, my arms are burning. Second of all, this is a good time for me to remind you, the 14-day at-home workout challenge inside Slim starts on October 20th. And this is a good opportunity for you to prove to yourself that at-home workouts can make you feel the burn. Like my arms are literally burning right now. But I used to think that at-home workouts didn't count. And what's so ironic is that putting on gym clothes and going to the gym makes you think that you've done something when you've done absolutely nothing. I've mentioned before, it's like when you take the SATs, you get 200 points for writing your name. You haven't actually done anything, you just wrote your name. When you go to the gym, you can actually trick yourself into getting a worse workout just because you're at the gym wearing gym clothes. You're like, well, I'm here wearing gym clothes. Whereas when you're at home, you could be in your pajamas and get a better workout because you're like, okay, I'm doing this workout at home. Like I really got to make it hurt. I really got to feel the burn so that I make this count. So reverse psychology here. Not only do at-home workouts count, but they can actually be better workouts than you putting on your gym clothes and going to the gym. You can get a better workout in your pajamas. And we weren't wearing an Apple Watch. That one never got to me. Like I honestly only use my Apple Watch for counting steps. I don't use it. I don't even like put on the workout thing when I'm working out. So that one never got to me, but I know that people very much identify with that one. Let's make breakfast now. Perfectionist trigger warning. This one's gonna hurt. This one's gonna sting. You've been warned. We're gonna make some oatmeal. You're not gonna like what I'm gonna do here. A cup of oats. I always do a cup of oats. No, I don't always do a cup of oats. Sometimes I do less, but a lot of the time I do a full cup of oats. Many people This will bother them because the serving size is a half a cup, and so they need to do what the serving size is, but that's only 150 calories. Like, you're not really getting much there. And the same people who are like, oh my gosh, I could never eat all of that at breakfast, are the same people who end up overeating later in the day. And the reason why you overeat later in the day is because you don't eat enough in the morning. So eat your full cup of oats. 1 cup of oats, 2 cups of water. I'm gonna put this in the microwave and do something very upsetting. We're gonna let the oatmeal overflow. Yeah. The things I do for you. We're gonna get out of there, okay? We shouldn't be in there. We shouldn't be in there. We're getting there, guys. This is how much I love you. No, no, no. Oh, there it goes. All right, that's enough torture. All right, there she is. I mean, how many times has this happened to you? Influencers, they're just like us. Okay, so here we go. My glamorous life. Now, yikes, Rooney. Okay, this could go many ways for the perfectionist. Also, I was chopping lettuce while I was waiting. Sue me, because I'm gonna have a salad with this. So this could go many ways for the perfectionist. You could take this as a sign from God that you're not supposed to eat healthy. You could go get fast food. You could say, well, now I have no idea, you know, I'm throwing the extras out. This stuff, this part on the bowl is fine. Anything that's not on the bowl, I'm not gonna take. But you could say, now I have no idea how much I'm having, so I have to throw this whole bowl out and try again. Or you just get super frustrated and you say, screw this, I'm just gonna have a bar. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. All of this in here is perfectly fine. This is perfectly salvageable. Look at all this good stuff. And the part that overflowed that we're not able to have, just lost more. This is just an opportunity for you to remind yourself that you have hunger fullness cues. So if you eat a little bit less than you normally do, it just means you're gonna have lunch a little bit earlier because you're gonna get hungrier a little bit earlier. And you know what? My dad says, Emmy, you can make a million mistakes, make as many mistakes as you want, just never make the same one twice. So accidents happen, they're called an accident for a reason. You didn't intend to do this, but you learn from it. Let me tell you about an accident I made. So I am adding in here a tablespoon of ground flaxseed, amazing for hormones. I am adding in a tablespoon of PB2 powder. Let me tell you about a mistake I made when I was paying my taxes. I accidentally paid the IRS from the wrong bank account, which doesn't seem like it would be a big deal. It is a bank account that I don't keep funds in, and I didn't realize that I had linked the IRS up to that account as opposed to the account that had all the money in it. So I need cinnamon. This was a few years ago. I go to make my tax payment, and I get a notification, insufficient funds. And I'm like, oh, that's because I paid it out of the wrong account. No big deal. I'll just go in and pay from the correct account. And upon further investigation, turns out they charge you a fee if you try to make a transaction from an account that doesn't have any money in it. We're gonna add in a banana. And the charge, it was a big payment to the IRS that I was making, and the charge for insufficient funds ended up being thousands and thousands of dollars. So I had been charged a penalty for trying to pay from the wrong account, and that penalty was thousands of dollars. This was devastating, as you can imagine. Yeah, I never made that mistake again, but mistakes happen. The most important thing is that we don't make the same mistake twice. So I have a beautiful bowl of oatmeal here that I'm going to add some nut butter to, and I'm gonna have salad with it, which I know seems insane, but I love greens, and I love lemon herb tahini dressing from Cava. So I'm gonna put this on the greens that I'm chopping up. I have in my salad spinner. And let's add some nut butter. Remember, life is 90% what happens to you and 10% how you react to it. And I have this beautiful bowl of oats here. And my cat just jumped on the counter while I was filming. Sir, don't you know I'm filming? So, you know what I say to all of this, honeys? Don't let perfectionism ruin what could be a great bowl of oatmeal. Okay, let's eat. Just took a shower and I'm about to film something. So perfectionist thought number one is that this setup of my camera right now is not good lighting, it's not a good angle, and normally I'd be like, well, I'm not gonna film this clip, or not even normally, but I think like, because I'm a recovered perfectionist. It's like being an alcoholic, like you're always an alcoholic in recovery. I'm always a perfectionist in recovery. My perfectionist brain says X, but I say Y, which is the way you have to operate as a perfectionist or as an anxious person, or honestly just as a human, is your brain is gonna feed certain thoughts to you. You are not your thoughts, you're how you respond to your thoughts. So the thought that my brain, guys, there's this one hair. The thought that my brain feeds to me is, this isn't a good shot, like you just shouldn't film in the bathroom, you shouldn't film this clip putting on your makeup. And then I respond to that by saying, actually, there are people that are gonna really like this clip because it feels authentic, it feels real, it doesn't feel so perfect lighting, highly produced. It's like getting it inside, it's making my content more authentic. And there are people who probably actually like how this clip looks right now. And most people don't care. And if every clip has to be perfectly curated, then you end up putting content up that's inauthentic. Okay, so we talk back to that voice. Next thing that the perfectionist mind says is, I'm about to film some videos for ads for my supplements. So if you don't know, I am the creator of Slim Supplements, vitamin B12 and vitamin D3, clean supplements, no GMOs, no oils, no sugars, no gross stuff. If you're on a plant-based diet, be smart, don't be silly. Linked down below. But I, the perfectionist, the old me, the perfectionist brain says, no, you need to do this when you have your hair done on a hair wash day. It needs to be perfect lighting. You have to get everything all set up. You have to have a perfect outfit. And the way I respond back to that is by recognizing that I don't want to live by perfectionist ideals. Like if I follow that perfectionist thought, I am reinforcing the jail that the perfectionist brain keeps me in. Because the reality is, I don't want it to be the case that every time I film something, my hair has to be perfect, I have the perfect outfit, it has to be a hair wash day, I have to spend hours getting ready. Like, what an unsustainable, unenjoyable way to live. And so if I believe that thought and I reinforce that thought through action, then I'm reinforcing that perfectionist neural pathway. And instead, what I want to do is give my brain some evidence that when I break the perfectionist thought, that I can break the perfectionist thought and things can go well. So I am purposefully filming this little supplement ad when, I'm being more casual about it. And if the ad performs well, then that is great evidence for my brain that I don't always have to do the perfectionist thing. So sometimes when those perfectionist thoughts come up, it's really just an opportunity for you to do what we call opposite actions, the exact opposite. I'm literally like doing my makeup without even looking in a mirror right now. You do the exact opposite of what that perfectionist brain wants you to do. And then when everything turns out okay, and most of the time, or sometimes if you're lucky, better than okay, then you realize that the perfectionist brain is just sabotaging you. I think too, I used to think I'm either getting ready like full glam or I'm Adam Sandler. That's something I had to break as well. Like we're either doing it all or we're doing nothing at all. But now I can just like put on a little foundation, put on a little blush, put on some mascara. Because makeup is supposed to enhance your features. It's not supposed to cover you up and turn you into a different, that's my belief of makeup. People, there are people that are true artists with makeup. But for me, makeup is supposed to enhance my natural beauty, right? So a little bit can just zhuzh things up a little. Okay, I'm gonna finish up here. I'm gonna be filming this ad on my iPhone. Normally, I would want to pull out my big camera, but the thought that I want to have is, wouldn't it be nice if I could just film these ads on my camera and I didn't have to pull out the big, or on my iPhone, I didn't have to pull out the big DSLR and the microphone and the lights and the tripod and set it all up. Like, wouldn't it be great if I could just do this, press record and bam? I want to have that thought. But if the current perfectionist thought is, no, I have to do the big production, and I reinforce that by taking the behavior and then the ad does well, it's like, well, then I have to do that. But if I try this out and things go really well, then I've squashed that old perfectionist thought. It's so freeing to do the opposite action of what your perfectionist brain tells you to do, because then when it all works out with doing the exact opposite of what you thought you had to do, you've freed yourself and you've realized, wow, I've made life a lot harder than it needs to be. My life has, I've put myself in this jail. So let's record this ad, huh? Time to get ready. Welcome to my closet. If you work from home, you can probably identify with this. We're either Adam Sandler or we're going to the Golden Globes. Like, I used to work in my pajamas because if I wasn't, like, what was the point, right? If I was just gonna be at home on my computer all day. And then I really stepped back and thought about it and said, well, Emmy, what is the point? Am I just getting ready for other people so other people think I look nice? And I remembered that the purpose of me putting on clothes that feel cute and doing my hair and doing my skincare and putting on perfume and all of that is because I like the way it makes me feel. It's a form of self-care. It's romanticizing life. And if the only time you ever get ready is because you're going to see other people, then you're starting to reinforce the belief that you only do this for other people and it's not for you. And you're living literally for other people and for their approval. So we're putting on a cute outfit. How cute is this? Like, are you kidding me? I'm literally obsessed. And it's in my color. I'm a brown gal as a soft autumn. Like, tell me this isn't the cutest top you've ever seen in your life. We can go ahead and record now. It's funny because you think that perfectionism and your super high standards allow you to produce work that's super high quality, but the reality is that it usually prevents you from producing anything at all. And I would look at it as, because my standards are so high, I know that whatever I'm going to produce is going to be high quality, and not to let my super high standards prevent, don't let perfect be the enemy of done. Don't make it so that they're paralyzingly high. Have super high standards, shoot for the moon, and then you can land on the stars. So this will probably be a great ad. Let's record it together. My clients and followers ate a plant-based diet and had to supplement with vitamin B12 and vitamin D3, and were asking me for a clean vegan supplement recommendation that didn't have oils and GMOs and fillers and gross stuff, and I could not find one. So I decided just to create my own and make it available for anybody to purchase. A clean vitamin B12 and D3 supplement that doesn't have unnecessary fillers and sugars and oils and GMOs and gross stuff, and is actually high quality that I would put in my body myself. Okay, as we're done, I think those were good enough. The concept of being good enough. Once you understand that good enough is good enough and you can be at peace with being good enough, your whole world will open up. So it's lunch break right now. I have reformulated my working schedule. I'm a business owner, I'm self-employed. I can work whenever I want, how much as I want. I am in complete control of this. But obviously, as a type A perfectionist, we work 24/7, right, baby? So something that I have had to do, sir, this is not OnlyFans, like, so rude. I have had to give myself a work schedule. Otherwise, I will literally work 24/7. So part of that is now get up in the 5s, work out, start work at 7, work until noon, and then I have a lunch break from noon to 12:30, and then I work in the afternoon. And now I do it so that the morning is my creative tasks, and then the afternoon are the admin tasks that are kind of brainless, since morning is like where I shine. And I am desperately trying, to cut off, like, ideally, like, are we serious? He sabotages my videos, I swear. In an ideal world, I would work 7 to 12, which is 5 hours. And then I would work from 12:30 to, like, in an ideal world, 3:30. And then I will have worked 8 hours a day. But this has been very difficult for me because I just work. So in order to try to make this happen, from 12 to 12:30, I will take my lunch break. But right now my lunch is cooking, but I still want to honor that 12 to 12:30 break. So I actually just finished my book that I'm reading. This feels unbelievably uncomfortable for me because I'm thinking to myself, why am I reading in the middle of the workday? But I remind myself that this is the ideal schedule that I want to have, and so I have to sit through the discomfort on my way there. The incorrect way of thinking about the quote unquote healing journey, for whatever this means to you, is once I start doing that thing, I'm gonna feel okay. So if you want to get to a place where you are comfortable with actions that currently make you feel uncomfortable, you have to do the actions when they feel uncomfortable. So I'm taking this 30-minute break from 12 to 12:30, and I'm sitting with the discomfort because I want to get it to a place where I feel comfortable with this. And the only way to get there is to do it when it feels uncomfortable. But anyway, the reason why I'm filming this clip right now is because I wanted to tell you a little bit about the book that I just read. I love reading. Let me switch up the frame a little bit. I feel like I've been sitting here for a while. I love reading, and speaking to the perfectionist in me, I think to myself, oh, I shouldn't vlog about this because what do books have to do with this video? But this could really connect me to somebody who's watching the video, somebody who loves to read, who has the same taste in reading. We could grow our bond closer because I'm talking about this. So that is speaking back to the perfectionist brain. And I would love to be able to talk about the books that I read and just talk about anything on my channel. And the only way to make that a reality is to start doing it. I'm not gonna magically wake up with a fairy dubbing her fairy dust on me saying, you are the chosen one. You are now allowed to talk about whatever you want on your channel. No, the only way for me to get there is to actually do it. So I just finished a book. I have just discovered what my preferred genre is, and it's women's fiction. I love reading stories about women just going through their lives and navigating life, and life as a female as well. And I thought that because I don't like fantasy, I do not like historical. I cannot connect at all with historical books. I can't connect with characters at all. And I really like to be able to connect with the characters. I don't like thrillers. I don't like horror or any of that. And I thought that I liked romance. And the more and more and more romance books that I read, I realized it's always a happy ending, so you know what's gonna happen, and so that's not very enjoyable. My favorite romance books have been the ones where I didn't know how it was going to end, like One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid is one of my favorite books of all time. And I've come to realize that women's fiction is my favorite genre. So if you have any women's fiction recommendations, please let me know, but please not historical fiction. I really don't like historical fiction. So please, I know that you're gonna say, I know that you don't like historical fiction, but you have to read this Kristen Hanna book. I don't like historical fiction. I like contemporary women's fiction, anything after the 90s. Like I love 90s and early 2000s actually, because it's pre-cell phones and it's just back to simpler times. Anyway, I just read the book All Fall Down by Jennifer Weiner, and it's about this woman's journey into opioid addiction, and then she goes to rehab and she's like a mom. She's a quote unquote normal white woman who would never suffer from something like this, and she does. And I connected so much with the story, not because I'm an addict and I've never been an addict, but addiction is something so near and dear to my heart. I have loved ones who have suffered tremendously with addiction, and I love reading about addiction and learning about it. And I actually was thinking when I was reading this book that I'd love to do more volunteer work in the addiction world. But trigger warning for sure, it's definitely a triggering book. If you have suffered with addiction, it will be very triggering for you. But for individuals who might not understand the fact that addiction does not discriminate, this would be a really good read. So would I recommend it? I gave it 3 stars. It's not a book I would go back to, and it's not a book I'd recommend for enjoyment, but it is a book that I think could be read in schools and can show you how addiction knows no bounds. Anyway, what are you guys reading? I'll see you soon. Tea time. I've become the queen of dandelion tea. I have a video coming up where I'm gonna talk more about dandelion tea and its benefits. But the first time I had this, it tasted like apples. Well, it still tastes like dirt. It tastes like sticks. It's not good tasting, but it's like this Stockholm syndrome where I'm now identifying with the one that tortures me. I like it now. 4 o'clock is tea time, right? And I know what you're thinking. Emmy, you said you'd be done with work by now. That's what I'm thinking too. You got me there, sis. You got me there. 4 o'clock is what we call the witching hour for many people. It is the time where they're hungry, but they say, my family's not eating until 6 o'clock. My husband doesn't get home until 5:45. We don't eat until 6. And I'm so hungry right now. Somebody like me, I could eat, if I wanted to, and I'll even do this from a parent, sue me. But if I was genuinely hungry for dinner right now, I would have dinner right now and have it be an earlier night. But I understand that that's not the case for some people. And so the reason why I'm holding this apple, I'm not hungry, I'm not gonna eat this right now. This is just, I'm speaking about le apple, is if you're genuinely hungry, eat. Have something like an apple or have what we call a mini meal, where it's what you would normally have of starch, vegetables, source of protein, a little bit of healthy fat, just have it in a smaller amount. Because if you don't eat right now and you wait, you're gonna get so ravenously hungry that you're gonna eat 2 times the amount of dinner that you would normally eat, and then your hand's gonna be in the cookie jar afterward because your hunger will have gotten out of control. So take advantage of the fact that your body is actually sending you a hunger cue. That is a good thing. Healthy people get hungry. Have a little snack right now and move on with the rest of your day. So yes, I am still working right now, and my goal is to be in a place where I'm not doing this. But the reason why is because tasks take me so much longer than I anticipate for them to. And I am doing things that require such depth now, whereas my old business model, I'd have a million tasks on my calendar and each one would take 30 minutes. Now the things that I'm working on will literally take days. These are big projects that I'm working on. So a perfectionist would say, you're not doing this right. You set this new goal, you're not meeting it, you're never gonna be able to do this. But the growth mindset, the way to be kinder to myself, is to recognize that stages of change honor that there is the preparation stage. There's pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and then there's relapse and maintenance. But to recognize that you don't decide that you want to make a change and then make a change that day and it's done and you never look back and you don't struggle at all. Change is this ongoing process, and part of it is the awareness of when you're falling back into old patterns. I wouldn't say I'm falling back into old patterns of workaholism right now. I would say that I'm learning how to structure my calendar so that I can turn off at 3:30 or 4. I mean, I started work at 7 a.m. this morning and I took a 30-minute break from 12 to 12:30. So it's not for a lack of, the reason I find myself in this position isn't because I'm not working enough hours. The reason why I find myself in this position is because at the end of the day, I like to sign off when a task is complete. It is very difficult for me to sign off when a task is incomplete. And that's a new discomfort that I'm going to have to sit with. So again, not falling into their perfectionist mindset of thinking that I'm not doing this correctly, instead looking at this as an opportunity to turn inward and be introspective. It is a couple of hours later now. It's about 6 o'clock. It's already dark, which is only going to get worse. But I really wanted to finish work up earlier so that I could go to SOA and get a sauna session in. I go to SOA in the South End, SOA Health and Wellness. Love them. Shout out. If you ever see me there, say hi. But I didn't finish work in time. And anyway, what I wanted to chat about, well, first, I'm on my way to the Asian market because I want to make a fall harvest bowl situation with quinoa, Brussels sprouts, mushrooms. I used to make it all the time last fall, and I need to go get certain mushrooms for it. And I kind of got to hustle because the Asian market's going to close. I'll show you the bowl. But part of breaking free from perfectionism is being willing to prioritize. Look at what your priorities are and recognize that you have to stack them, and some things need to take priority over others, and be at peace with that. Because the perfectionist thinks that she can do absolutely everything at 100%, but you can't. We can't. So right now, what I'm prioritizing is actually cleaning my apartment when I get back home after I make my dinner. My fiance is coming home tonight from a work trip. I won't see him. He'll come home after I fall asleep.
but he's been gone for a few days, and to be totally transparent, I've been kind of slacking on cleaning the apartment. So I am prioritizing that and having to be at peace with the fact that I couldn't do everything that I wanted to do today. But instead, tomorrow, I'm going to reward myself with a sauna session at the end of the workday when work is done, and then we'll head into the weekend. And I have a fun weekend plan. I'm going to take care of my nephew, going to a fall festival, going to a pumpkin patch. Anyway, let me go get these mushrooms and then we'll make some dinner. Okay, so these are the best mushrooms. These are oyster mushrooms. You slice them into dimes and spray a little bit of soy sauce on them. They are so, so good. You can actually make them taste like scallops too, which is cool. And then we have these. I can't remember what these are called. Maybe like turkey tail or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But these have such a cool, meaty texture. And I do the same thing. Spray soy sauce on them and then just roast them in the oven at like 400-ish until they're cooked through. So I'm going to get some of these and some of these for my bowl.
Dinner is done. Let's wrap it up for tonight. I just started The Dead Romantic just because it's a spooky book. I'm not really into spooky books. I've read the first couple pages. We'll see. We'll see. Still looking for book recs. It's not women's fiction, but I requested it on Libby like 2 months ago in anticipation for this season. And I just got the notification that it is ready. So I'm like, I gotta do it. So before I read, I need to clean the apartment for the arrival of my fiance. It's actually not bad. If you made it to this point of the video, comment a spooky season emoji. So like a pumpkin or a leaf or an apple or a ghost, something associated with October. I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next video.